This is an overview of the Management and Organization Theory Business Management 364 course at UMUC, University of Maryland, University College. The purpose of this very brief video is to provide you with an overview of the course, make sure that everyone understands what the expectations are for the course, and to provide a bit of feedback on the weekly discussions. Future videos will focus in on each of the specific assignments that are due throughout the course, but the purpose of this particular video is to simply walk through the syllabus and make sure everyone understands what they should be reading, and to review, as I said very briefly, the weekly assignments. So let's just walk through the actual syllabus here. Your course description can be found on page 1, as can the course introduction. So let me summarize this by saying that Management and Organization Theory, Business Management 364, is really designed to deal with the 4 functions of management. I've highlighted it here. These 4 functions of management are the ability to plan, organize, lead or influence, and control. And this course actually goes through all 4 of those in depth, and we'll pull out several concepts, theories, and various learnings that you'll be able to practically apply in your day-to-day life, as well as be able to apply in the assignments and the discussions. I'd ask that you take the opportunity to read carefully through the course description, course introduction, and the course goals and objectives. You all should have the course material, which is the textbook by Serto and Serto, Modern Management. If you don't have that book, please make sure you get that, because that is the primary source that we utilize throughout this course. Now, as I said, I'm not going to go through each of the project descriptions in depth. Future videos will focus on each project, and they will actually be focused individually. So there are 4 assignments due in this class, and 1 is a group project, 3 are individual, and the videos will individually focus on each of these projects. So next week you can expect to see a video that will focus solely on the mission, vision, social responsibility, and strategic planning project. That's an individual paper that's due in week 2. So I'm not going to spend any time on that, but I do want you to, during week 1, take an opportunity to read through that and let me know if you have any questions. You can post those questions in the WebTyco classroom under the Q&A section. You can also send a private message to the instructor. The leadership scenario is due in week 5. You'll get more information about that in an additional video that will be posted. But one thing to note here is that the actual case is found in the syllabus. So if you're looking for where you'll get that from, it's in the syllabus itself. The group task, which is a performance measure critique PowerPoint presentation. It's not due until week 7. However, the groups will be assigned next week. So at the beginning of week 2, you can look forward to study groups being created, and the groups will be formed. Your instructor will be assigning folks to the specific groups. And again, a video will be upcoming that will go over that. And then the final project, which is a case study. This is an individual case study. That's not due until week 8, and a video will be posted that will go through the specifics for the case study. So what do I want to focus on in this case? And by the way, the case study is actually found right here in your syllabus, so you want to make sure that you pull that. Now, a lot of folks have asked about the grading rubric for the various assignments. The grading rubric can be found here in the syllabus, and the grading rubric for the papers as well as the group project are all the same. So it's graded based on several criteria or several objectives. One is that you must demonstrate critical thinking, problem solving, creative thought, and self-assessment. Secondly, you need to make sure you develop and support your ideas. That means that you need to present your example. Make sure that you present the concept or theory that you believe best applies to that example, and correlate. And then you should make sure that you are, thirdly, applying those concepts that are learned in class, meaning in our discussions, in your reading, to the assignment. You cannot simply, when you're doing your assignments, talk talk about something as far as your thoughts or your input. And while it's fine to have your own thoughts, you need to support those by providing the specific references that would support it. And that would be the concepts and theories that are learned in the course. Make sure you respond to each aspect of the assignment. You'd be amazed at how many folks will lose points simply because they don't respond to each aspect of the assignment. It's very important for you to do that. Make sure you adhere to the APA style. APA style is critical, and so if you don't know it, I would suggest you get a textbook on APA style. They're fairly inexpensive, and you can pick those up, and it's something that you can use throughout this program and throughout your degree and or certificate. Finally, make sure your paper is well organized. You want to have smooth transitions from thought to thought. It should be free of any grammatical, spelling, punctuation, structure errors, because no matter how good your content is, if the paper is not well organized, if it's not clear and easy to read, then it won't matter how good your actual content is. So that is an overview of the grading rubric. One thing we do have in this class is help from the Writing Center, and so you can always utilize that Writing Center at the University of Maryland. I strongly encourage you to do that with your assignments. They are there to help you. The grading is fairly straightforward in this class. Your conferences, the weekly conferences, are worth 2.5% each. We have 8 weeks. There's a conference in each week with multiple questions, and they are worth 2.5% for a total of 20%. I would urge you to not forget to do a conference during a week. I've had classes where folks have made the conscious decision not to participate in the conferences, and that is really a bad decision because it's worth 20% of your total grade. And even though 2.5%, which is what it's worth in a week, may not seem like a lot, you'll find that if you don't spend the time actually doing the conferences, it makes it very difficult when the time comes to write your papers. So it's really important to do that. The first paper, the Mission, Vision, Social Responsibility, and Strategic Management individual paper, is worth 15% of your grade. The Leadership Scenario, also an individual paper, is worth 20% of your grade. The group task, the Performance Measurement Critique, is worth 15%. That is, the group grade is worth 15%. The peer evaluation is your individual assessment of your team members, and that collectively, because I put them all together based on your team, makes up 5% of your grade. This is 5% that is based on your participation with your team, how well you work with your team, how well you all come together as a team. So it's really important to do that and to make sure that you're working from the time I assign you until the time the assignment is due in week 7. And then your final project, which is an individual project, is due in week 8 and is worth 25% of your grade. The grading scale is the normal grading scale, A being 90 to 100, B being 80 to 89, C being 70 to 79, D being 60 to 69, and an F would be assigned to anyone who has less than a total of 59 points from all of the assignments. There is no extra credit policy in this class. This is an 8-week course. We simply do not have the luxury of time in order to do extra credit. The idea here is that in an 8-week course, each week builds on the next week. So it's critical that you hit the ground running. You focus your time, use good time management to make sure that you complete your assignments on time, make sure you do all the readings, and actively participate in the conference. In addition to the fact that there is no extra credit for this course, the late assignment policy is that assignments have due dates, and you need to stay on track. Putting off an assignment for the following week will simply put you behind, and so I do not typically allow for late assignments. However, I know sometimes there are extenuating circumstances. Should that happen, you need to contact your instructor prior to the assignment. That does not mean that you can reach out to me at 11:59 on the night that is due. Prior to the assignment means that you are coming to me several days ahead of time, and whatever your rationale is, at that time you need to also submit whatever you have done to that point. What I do not want to do is give extensions for folks who simply have not even attempted to do the assignment. So you can request an extension only once during the class. If you want that extension, you will have to come to me directly. I will review your rationale and reason for it. I will determine whether or not you can get the extension. I do not have to actually provide you the opportunity to turn the assignment in late, but if you do turn it in late, then I will grade it as a late assignment, which means automatically I drop one letter grade, and then I'll continue to assign it. To grade it. I will tell you, though, that it is a lot better if I tell you that you cannot turn the assignment in late. You still should turn in your assignment. It is extremely difficult, if not impossible, to recover from a zero on an assignment. And I stress that now because I have had students in the past who will say, well, I'm just not going to do that assignment. And if you do not do that assignment, you lose out on the points. You're losing out on the total points. Now, the TUS grading standards here, the grading philosophy, the definition of academic rigor, participation, all of these things you can read, and I would urge you to read those. In addition, read your participation grading rubric. It determines how I grade the weekly discussions. I will grade those and provide detailed feedback on those. There is no final exam for this course, and the hallmarks for the course and for the university itself can be found in the syllabus. Take some time, read through those. Also read through your academic policies, which focus on academic integrity and overall course expectations and policies and procedures. But what I want to get to in the few minutes I have left, because I'm going to wrap this video up shortly so that you only have about a 15-minute video, is that the course schedule is in your syllabus. It is important that you do what you see under the assignment section each week. So, for example, here in week 1, a couple of things you should be doing. There's a lot of reading up front, and that's to help set the stage and make sure we all have a firm basis of the concept of management. So you'll need to make sure you read chapters 1, 9, and 10 in the textbook Certo and Certo. What you should be doing during week 1 is introduce yourself. There's a forum in the conference area where you can introduce yourself. Make sure that you actively participate in the week discussion conference and review the mission vision paper that's going to be due in week 2. Each week you should be looking to see what you should be reading and then what you should be doing. Some folks have asked about the week 2 conference or even the week 1 conference. When will the conferences be revealed? Well, they'll be revealed at the beginning of each week. So on the Monday, when the course uncovers at 12:01 a.m., you will be able to see that week's discussion question. The reason they're not provided in advance, one, is because I sometimes reserve the right to adjust the discussion question based on the previous discussion, based on the class progress, etc. But secondly, it is really important that we work together as a class. And as much as I know some folks want to work ahead, what I'd ask you to do is read ahead. Make sure that you've read the material. Make sure that you're okay with exactly what it is that you're being asked to do. Make sure that you understand the papers. Take the time to read the syllabus. Take the time to begin working on your written assignments. But the week conferences should really mimic what we would see in the classroom. So in the classroom, we would have active discussion. Consider the week conferences to be your classroom experience. Well, that is a brief overview of Business Management 364, the University of Maryland, University College. This is a fairly long syllabus. I would ask you, it's about just over 20 pages when you have it in the Word format. I would encourage you to go into WebTyco to print a copy. You should have a copy that you use. I keep a copy in a notebook for myself, and I've taught this class for many years. So I'd encourage you to print a copy off, read through, and highlight the sections. As you do that, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your instructor. Thanks. Have a great day.